Japanese thrillers aren't just about serial killers or murder mysteries. They're unique and refreshing to watch. Some film concepts may sound weird, but still, they all pack the punch. So today we are ranking 10 of my favorite Japanese thrillers of all time. The World of Kanako. What if the daughter you're searching for is a monster? The film follows a former detective whose teenage daughter suddenly goes missing. At first, it looks like a simple runaway case, but as he digs deeper into her life, the truth becomes darker and darker. His daughter isn't an innocent, perfect student, but a manipulative girl involved with drugs and underworld. With each interaction the former detective has, it becomes more clear that his daughter is a dangerous woman who drags innocence into the world of drugs, and not everyone are telling truth about her. Who is his daughter, a monster or a victim? That's what this film is about.
こんなことしたやつはのぞしげも見てみろよほら彼らの意思とは関係のないところで
The Third Murder. This film is an investigative murder mystery about a murder suspect who is suspected in a murder case of his ex-boss. He's already convicted for another murder and he served prison time. For this present case, a well-known defense lawyer represents him. The lawyer starts digging into the case, and after listening to the victim's family members and other people related to the case, the lawyer doubts if his client was actually a murderer. On the other hand, his client admits the murder, which would give him a lifetime sentence. What happened and what's the actual truth? That's what this film is all about. Ichi the Killer. Directed by one of the greatest directors, Takashi Miike, this brutal thriller dives deep into the violent world of Yakuza. The story begins when the powerful Yakuza boss suddenly goes missing along with a huge amount of money. The underworld erupts into chaos. To find him, the gang launches a massive hunt. Leading it is a psychopath gangster who enjoys pain. On the path of this search, they come across a mysterious assassin named Ichi, who slaughters the gang members in the most brutal way. But for Ichi, his motivation isn't power or money. He's a mentally disturbed predator who is being controlled by another figure behind the shadows. To find out who is Ichi and the person behind Ichi, you have to check out the movie. This is one of the most violent films I have come across. Coldfish, a perfect pick for serial killer story fans. It's about a fish shop owner named Somato. His business is going terrible. This is when we are introduced to a man who later becomes the business partner of Somato. But there's something mysterious about the new business partner. He has a dark secret. Actually, he's a serial killer who kills his competition and anyone who becomes a hurdle for his business. Slowly, the serial killer starts involving Somato and his family into the murders, using fear and psychological control. This film is a dark psychological thriller on how murderous monsters are created. Guilty of Romance. A dead body with parts attached to dolls is found in a love hotel. A female detective starts investigating the case, which leads to the story of two women, an innocent and suppressed housewife of a novelist, and a smart, respected university professor in the day and a prostitute at night, who does it just for the thrill of the job. The housewife secretly starts a modeling career, which later drifts into sexual obsession. What began as curiosity into modeling becomes obsession and a path of self-destruction because of manipulation of the professor. What are the hidden motives of each character, and how did these incidents lead to a butterfly effect and finally resulting in a brutal murder? That's what this film is all about. Be aware while watching because this film includes a lot of adult scenes. This film is a gritty, erotic thriller with a murder mystery. Monster. This mystery thriller became quite popular with global audience. The story follows Minato, a 5th grade student with a single mother. Suddenly, Minato starts to show strange behavior like cutting his own hair and starts coming to home with only one shoe. And one night, he runs away from the home. Later, after his mom finds him and while driving back home, he jumps out of the car. After observing this worrying behavior of her son Minato, his mother visits the school assuming that her school teacher was responsible for this odd behavior. After questioning her teacher reveals that Minato in actual was a bully. He's bullying other students, especially a student named Yuri. And to find out truth, Minato's mom visits Yuri's home, where she finds the missing shoe of Minato, and also burnt marks on Yuri's hand. What happened in the school and what's the truth? That's what this film explores. It's a mystery film that's filled with a lot of twists and turns. Audition. One of the most disturbing films I have ever seen. It starts off with a widow man who is in search for a wife. But due to his age, finding a dating option isn't that easy. So his friend suggests a fake audition for a fake movie. Using that, they can find a perfect girl. In the audition, he finds a quiet and a mysterious woman. Slowly, they both develop a relationship. But something is off. There are some strange phone calls and inconsistent stories about her past. What feels like a romantic film in the beginning slowly turns into very disturbing psychological horror. Especially the climax, which will definitely shock you. One interesting fact about this movie is when it first released in film festivals, the American audience walked out of theaters unable to bear the violence. But later, after years, this film developed a cult following. So much so, it brought Takashi Miike global fame. If you have enjoyed our suggestions until now, please like the video and comment down below what content we should suggest next. Confessions. One of the most interesting but also one of the most complicated movie to give a synopsis. A mother who works as a teacher discovers that her child was murdered, and the murder was framed as an accident by two of her students. So, as a part of her revenge, she provides 37 milk boxes to her students, out of which 2 milk boxes have 8 split mixed in them. And this is just a very initial step in the grand revenge plan. If I reveal anything beyond this, that would spoil the movie for you, because it has a lot of mystery suspense with some great twists. Battle Royale. This is the film that stood as an inspiration for popular game PUBG. If you like stories like Squid Game or Hunger Games, then you should definitely watch this movie. This movie is so good that Martin Scorsese called it the best film of all time. A group of students were kidnapped and placed in a deserted island. Now, they were asked to play a deadly survival game for 3 days. For 3 days, they should fight and kill among themselves. At the end, only one survives out of 42 students. Perfect Blue. The Hollywood movie Black Swan is heavily inspired from the Perfect Blue movie. What if your biggest fan want to erase the new you? That's what this film is about. It tells the story of a popular singer who quits her singing and gets into acting. However, the transition isn't smooth. She starts getting disturbing messages from obsessed fans, and the obsession grows so much so that a website pops up detailing her daily life with terrifying accuracy, which means someone is watching her closely. While on the other hand, her role involving sexual scenes to break away from her cute image unleashes hate from her obsessed fans. So much hate that one of the fans wants to kill her. This film is an extraordinary psychological thriller which bounces between reality and hallucination.